Good morning. Welcome back. Day 13, drafting every day, the big board on Underdog Fantasy. I'm Jiri, the hoodie, and let's jump in a draft. I forgot to get in one ahead of time, but I just entered and we have to wait for 11 people. Great. That's a lot of time to fill. Okay. How about the little board? What's going on the little board? Waiting for one person. I'd rather do a big board draft. Waiting for two. It might fill up pretty quick. You know what? Let's just do two at a time. That could be fun. Let's do two at a time. There's one, and we'll open up another window. And let's do the big board and the little board. Why not? Let's win them both at the same time. That could be fun. And the big board. Wait, am I still on one? I am. Yeah, we'll see how long this takes to fill. Only reason I would do that is I'm a little short on time today. Going into work early for a 12-hour shift. Speaking of 12, we got pick 12. Okay, a lot of time. You know what? That's good for two drafts. Having a pick at the turn makes it a lot easier to balance two at the same time. So why not? We'll have a little fun today. A little extra degeneracy for the morning. And I feel like I have a morning voice right now too. Literally about to take my very first sip of coffee. Oh, that's so satisfying. In my Lions mug, you know what it is. That first sip just hits different, man. Okay, any names I recognize in here? Akuna Matata. Interesting. Few non-Badgers. That's always nice. Brady Callahan kind of seems like a similar name. But no one else I really recognize. The title of this stream is The Best Strategy. And I've mentioned in my previous streams, I think the best strategy is to go with heavier running backs early, being that the later rounds are quite uncertain right now. Wow, Jamar Chase at 6. That is insane. The later rounds are quite uncertain with free agents and rookies not knowing where they're going to go. So getting the guys early and finding values at receiver and tight end late definitely feels good to me at this point in the year. And avoiding running backs in like the 4th, 5th, and 6th round kind of seems like the dead zone is back. A few years ago, that was kind of the rule where you don't draft guys in those rounds. Damn it. I kind of feel like getting weird. This is the $3 draft. This is a $3 draft. You know what? I haven't drafted Hampton once. And Saquon as well. So another good strategy is get unique. Get combinations of players that no one else is drafting. I don't necessarily love Hampton. I don't necessarily love Saquon. But the amount of teams that are going to have both of these guys are going to be slim to none. And they could very easily be the guys you need. So we'll get a little different, get a little unique, and have some fun, you know? I could have taken Achan, sure, but he just doesn't feel the best to me this year. Pause. I just don't like the Dolphins. I don't like the Dolphins. Someone I'm going to wait on a little bit. So we'll take Mike McDaniel's new running back prodigy, Hampton, instead of Achan this draft. Now, overall, I would definitely put Achan above Omari and Hampton, but this is a $3 draft. We'll see in the $10 one. Take it a little more serial, if you know what I mean. Waiting for two more people there. I'm only gonna have time for these 2 drafts today, so at least we still get 2 in, right? I think that makes it kind of fun. Let's take a look at the draft board as well, see if there's any shenanigans going on. The last couple drafts I've done, there's been some shenanigans. Not like crazy, outlandish, taking Brian Robinson instead of Bijan Robinson with the first overall pick, but someone took Woody Marks first overall in one of my drafts, but then the rest of the draft was completely normal. So I'm thinking that was a misclick, someone in their queue. But another draft, someone just kept taking guys that their ADP was 2, 3 rounds later. And then after like 8 rounds, just autoed the rest. So yeah, always keeping an eye out for that. Because when your drafts get canceled, that's just a bummer. Okay, pick one. Wow, this is kind of fun. I'm glad I did too. We got pick 12 and pick one. That's exciting. Both ends of the spectrum. Now, I'm sure I'm just going to end up taking Bijan. I would much rather just have Gibbs for my ego's sake because I'm just a big Lions fan. And I'm really tempted just to take Gibbs. Surprisingly, I've gotten like 4 pick ones now, I think, out of like 20 drafts. So we're running kind of hot there. And man, I want to do it so bad. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to go get it. I'll be back. You know what it is. We had to get the Gibbs jersey. Fuck it. We're going with Gibbs today. We'll be that weirdo. I'm not mad at it. I'm having fun this morning, okay? Yeah, I do have the number 26 Gibbs jersey. Kind of a bummer that he changed his number. So this is outdated. However, these black jerseys, they came out on my 26th birthday. And so I got number 26, Jahmyr Gibbs. So regardless, it still has some sentimental value to me. And I'm happy with that. Now, at this turn, we're going to double down on receiver. Garrett Wilson and Jameson Williams is a tough pick for me. Like, I'm just going to keep drafting JMO ahead of him because I'm a Lions fan. But Garrett Wilson is someone I definitely need to mix in as well. Let's just go with the upside. We'll go with the upside. Just embrace our Lions fandom today. We're having fun this morning. Jahmyr Gibbs, pick one. Why not? The thing with Jahmyr Gibbs versus Bijan is Jahmyr Gibbs, I would say, has a higher just weekly ceiling 1 week where he can get 40 points. He can get 4 touchdowns. I mean, Bijan definitely showed he can do that last year as well, getting some long touchdowns, getting used in the receiving game. And you can argue he's going to get a heavier workload than Jahmyr Gibbs as well. But I don't know, man. Jahmyr Gibbs, I just think, is the best back in the league. Even if he's splitting carries, we're going to go with it. We're having fun. That's another good strategy. Have fun. Like, it's not the most serious thing. Like, have some fun with this when we're drafting. And I think that does translate to a better draft sometimes. And just going with your gut. Like sometimes listening to that little intuition where normally I would just take Bijan, pick one, how everyone else does, but something just kind of whispered, let's take Gibbs today. So let's do it. Listening to that little quiet voice, I think is a secret strategy because so much of this is unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Someone can be the best on paper, but what matters? Week 17 matters. Now I'm not even going to think about this. I'm just going to listen to that little voice like I just mentioned. There goes Derrick Henry. There goes Nico. Wow, okay. I'm very happy with Brock Bowers right here. Very happy with Brock Bowers. And I think I want to take another running back too. Rashee Rice, Chris Olave don't necessarily feel like the best picks to me. We can reach up and get unique with a receiver if we want to, but I like the receiver values at the other turns later. So Josh Jacobs, Brees Hall, Bucky Irving. Josh Jacobs, Brees Hall, Bucky Irving. Josh Jacobs, Brees Hall, Bucky Irving. Let's go Josh Jacobs. We'll get Josh Jacobs, get some division correlation. Could stumble our way into a Lions-Packers Week 17 matchup. Heavy running game. Who knows? Josh Jacobs really not my favorite pick, though. But like we mentioned earlier, I want to get some of these running backs early because at the next turn, they feel horrendous. At the turn after that, they feel horrendous. And look, none of them are even available here. So I feel like taking Marvin Harrison. So I'm going to take Marvin Harrison. And I don't think I need to force Jalen Hurts either. Kind of tempted to take Jaden Daniels. Even though we don't have a stack, kind of tempted to take Jaden Daniels. These receivers feel nice here too. But the quarterbacks just go so early in these drafts, these 20-round underdog drafts. They just go so early right now, and they dry up so quick. So let's get a little different. Let's get Jaden. And then again, we get a little division correlation, Washington and Philadelphia. Maybe we can just stumble our way into Week 17. Who knows? I have reached up for Jalen Hurts when I've taken A.J. Brown here before, just to get that correlation. Jaden Daniels doesn't necessarily need someone to stack with either. And if you want to take some rookies, I definitely think that they draft a rookie receiver. The receiver room is very, very shaky. Debo, I can't imagine re-signs there. I don't know why they would necessarily want him back. AJ Brown, these receivers in the 4th round, man. Like at the end of the 4th, you're getting T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown, Lad McConkey, Jameson Williams. Like, fuck, man. These receivers are so nice here. Whereas, let's look at the running backs. Travion Henderson, RJ Harvey, Quinshon Judkins. Cam Scatterbo already went. Cam Scatterbo went before Kenneth Walker. That is insane. But those guys just don't feel good. They're all going into their second season, sure. And we usually expect running backs to be better in their second season. However, they all have major question marks and big downside. Travion Henderson, his workload, like, just did not get used a lot. Yeah, he did have explosive games, and he's one who's just talented enough that his second year, this could just be a smash pick. RJ Harvey didn't get used that much. Even when J.K. Dobbins went down, they split the workload. And Sean Payton just always has a history of spreading the ball around. Quinshon Judkins plays on the Browns, also coming off a pretty major injury that he needed surgery for. So all these guys have big question marks. Gibbs, stud. Josh Jacobs, you can say, has some question marks too, which would be fair. But Let's see. I definitely need some receivers. Luther Burden feels really expensive to me, and he goes anyways. I'm kind of tempted just to take Travion actually and go with the heavy running backs. Let's do it. Let's get a little different. We'll take Travion Henderson, and then I need some receivers as well. Terry McLaurin or Jalen Waddle, kind of similar bets to me. Jalen Waddle, a little younger, deals with more injuries. Terry McLaurin, kind of getting up there in age, but I think just had a down year. So we'll take him. Why not? Get a little different. That team, we're probably just going with 5 running backs for sure. Woo, woo, big sneeze. Excuse me. Let's see. Receiver, we are still looking at Quentin Johnson does not feel good to me. I'll take Jacoby Myers and actually no. Yeah, we'll take Jacoby Myers. I might just reach up for Worthy as well. Unless I want to get a tight end. Do I want a tight end? Maybe I do. Let's get Laporta. Go a little more balanced. I could have gone with another running back too. I don't necessarily like Bashal Tutin. I think this is a lot of just assuming that he's the RB1 in Jacksonville, which I don't think is going to be the case. Jacoby Myers is a boring pick. We could have gone with DJ Moore, someone who is a little more exciting. Worthy's a little more exciting. But Jacoby Myers just seemed like he brought the team together in a lot of ways last year. Signed a 3-year deal. And for someone who joined halfway through the season, he showed really good chemistry with Trevor Lawrence and is the leader of that very young wide receiver room. So he's going to be involved. He's going to get his weeks. He's going to provide some balance to our team with the possibility of spiking as well. Yeah, I don't hate it. We're just going a little different today. We're having fun. Not necessarily trying to make the absolute best team. I really do think that a good strategy to win this is not overthink it and try different things. Be different. This is a contest with how many people are even in this? This is a contest with 223,200 entrants. The finals has 500 something people, 558 people in the final. So, you got to be different. You got to be unique. You can't think like everyone else. You really can't. And things just kind of have to go your way. They have to fall in your lap. Like Jaden Daniels. Damn it. I was really hoping he'd come back to stack with Terry. We're going to be going receiver no matter what, really, with these next 2 picks. I would like these top 2 guys. I would like these top 2 guys, and we don't. Okay. You know what? This doesn't feel great. I can't lie. This doesn't feel the best. We're going to go Ricky Pearsall, and I don't even want to reach up for another receiver because they don't feel that great. Could take a quarterback. Could just go with a naked Jalen Hurts and say, fuck it. You know what? Jalen Hurts just feels like the best pick on the board, so we're going to do it. We're way too light at receiver. This is not something I would normally like to do, but we'll get a little different. Probably going to end up drafting 10 receivers on that team. Who knows? You never know. It's usually like the teams that you don't expect to do well or be great that end up winning. For example, I was in the Puppy 4 finals last year, and the team that won had no tight end points for the whole playoffs. Like, they had Sam Laporta, and it was either Tucker Kraft or Dalton Kincaid, but one of them, they were both injured. And yeah, like, okay, we were considering Worthy. Wow, we were considering Worthy with our last turn, and he falls all the way back to us. So that feels good. Who else do we want to take? Um, hmm, I would have really liked if Jared Goff came back to us. Maybe we could have gotten Love and Reed as well. Let's go with another running back. I like Woody Marks. I like Woody Marks. Could have taken on Baker Mayfield to backstack as well, but we're gonna push it a little bit. Try something else. We have Jaden Daniels as our quarterback, who we expect just to be a stud. Maybe I could have taken JCM just to get the Washington correlation. That's the thing with drafting two teams at the same time as well. You can make some mistakes. But hey, you never know. We need luck on our side. Things just fall in our lap in our favor. This is a nice way in general that you want to approach the first 10 rounds of your draft. Getting a 1-3-5-1 where you have your starters at all your positions, you have options at all your flex positions. So that always feels good to me. Yeah, Worthy at 108, like, doesn't feel bad. Maybe I could have gotten whatever. We're not gonna overthink it. We're not overthinking it. And here we need receiver very desperately. We need receiver very, very bad. A lot of these drafts too are honestly just kind of practice at this point in the year. Plus, I'm literally using free money to draft them. Underdog keeps giving like 25% deposit matches. So you put in 400 bucks, you get 100 bucks for free. And that 400 is not going to expire. And I'm going to use it in the off season anyways. So getting all this free money, pretty sweet. These drafts are just free. Nice practice. So we get any profit. Feels great. These drafts are just not necessarily falling in our favor today. And okay, this kind of sucks where both of these are going at the same time. Man, I wish we could just like swap some players on both of these teams and they'd be sick teams. Uh Tyron Tracy feels good. We need another quarterback. Mendoza, Bryce Young, just getting one of those guys. Brenton Strange goes. Could just take two quarterbacks here as well if I wanted to. Tyron Tracy goes. Should I just take Mendoza and Bryce Young? Bryce Young doesn't really have back sacks necessarily. Okay, we're on the board here too. We need Worthy for sure. And we need another receiver. We'll go with some rookie upside. Go with some rookie upside there. Okay, we got Mendoza. We can backstack him. And Oh, we got Bryce Young. Okay. I don't really like. Okay, this is not working out as I planned. This is not working out as I planned. But whatever. We have literally. Okay. Oh man, why is this a live stream? This is kind of embarrassing. This is a little embarrassing, this one. I'm I'm kind of fumbling it. I should retitle this "What Not to Do." Honestly, don't draft 2 teams at once. It's not good to have the 1st and 12th pick because they will go at the same time. And yeah, we literally have no stacks, but fuck it. Fuck it. We're having fun. We're having fun this morning, okay? Like, I'm about to work a 12-hour day today, so I'm gonna have some fun this morning. That's it. This $13 that I'm spending is free money anyways. Oh, man. Hey, it's also important to learn what not to do. So, that's, maybe that's the lesson for this video, is learning what not to do. I gotta say, though, I am having fun. Even though I'm fumbling the fuck out of this draft, I'm having fun. The whole fuck I actually made a thumbnail for this one too, said winning 200K. But hey, if this actually ends up winning from this video, that would be absolutely hilarious. That would just be so funny. And great. Like, I would love it. Would love to get that 200K. Okay. Could take Mendoza, even though we'd be reaching up for him to stack with Brock Bowers. Man, if we just I think my brain just got confused. If we just swap like quarterbacks on both of these teams, like if we had Jalen Hurts here and we had Jaden Daniels on this team and Mendoza on this team, like that'd feel better. That would feel better. I can't help but laugh at myself though. It's just funny. Can still start with a 1-3-5-1 on this team though. Like we're getting there one way or another. With our 1 quarterback, we have our 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers right now. So get Dallas Goedert thinking he resigns with Philly if we wanted to get a stack with Jalen Hurts. But I can also see him drafting someone like Denzel Boston. Okay. Who do we go with here? I'm just gonna get a second quarterback because I think Baker Mayfield's a good value and we can get back stacks. And we'll get a receiver who has upside in Jaden Higgins. Oh fuck, we're on the clock here too. No. I do not want Tyreek Hill. Is this our first pick? Yes, it is. Okay. We'll take Jude to the Wuhan Johnson. I like that. And we'll go with Josh Downs too. Okay, that was a bit of a panic pick. But we'll get these guys. I really don't like that these are going at the same time. My brain just gets confuzzled. Baker Mayfield is nice because a good backstack that I like for him is Jalen McMillan, who just keeps falling, but I don't agree with that. I really don't. Like, I think Jalen McMillan, we're probably going to take him at the next turn just so we can get a stack at 144. I think that's a good pick still. Going at 155. It doesn't bother me to take him early. And at this point in the year, ADP just really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. We'll queue some of these guys up. So I just keep taking like the same receivers in this range. I find like a lot of my drafts are getting pretty repetitive right now, and I'm taking a lot of the same guys. But in February, I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna be drafting all throughout the offseason. So like Jerry Judy, so ambiguous right now. Doesn't feel good. Like Pat Bryant, I really don't understand why he's going here. Why is Pat Bryant going ahead of Josh Downs? Why is Pat Bryant going ahead of Jalen McMillan? Doesn't make sense to me. Does not make sense. Yeah, he was getting used a little more, but Denver in general just spreads the ball around so much. And I could see him bringing in more competition as well. Troy Franklin, before he got hurt, he was playing ahead of him and playing well, but going further in drafts. I don't necessarily like Troy Franklin either. They're definitely going to be guys that I have to mix in at some point just to get my exposure to them. Because when I'm drafting like hundreds and hundreds of teams, it is important to get some guys because it is so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Just getting exposure to guys is important. Travis Hunter goes. I would take a third quarterback on this team. Why not? We really don't need one, but why not? Mendoza falls in our lap. However, two of these receivers would feel quite nice as well. Let's take a look at this draft. 80 Mitchell goes. So what do we need? We definitely don't need quarterback. Fernando Mendoza. I want Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, I think, is one of the best values in the draft right now in general. Kamani Vidal feels pretty good too. So if these guys are available, those will be my picks. And Rashichi goes, Brandon Ayuk goes, Mendoza went as well. Keishon Boutte, 144. That doesn't feel bad. Okay, who do I want? Josh Downs or Keishon Boutte? Let's go with these guys. We need some upside. We need some spike weeks. Let's just go with both of them. And we're gonna get both of these guys too. Okay, you know what? These drafts are they're shaping up a little more now. They're shaping up a little more, okay? Maybe not be as bad as they seemed. Might not be as bad as they seemed. At least we got one stack with Trey Tucker and Mendoza. Juwan Johnson was nice to fall to us as well. And we can be pretty happy with our two tight ends on this team. Isaiah Likely, I think, is a great value. Like a really good value at Isaiah Likely. Especially if he goes to a good scenario. The thing with tight ends is we see pretty frequently on their second contract, that's when they really start to show up. That's when they play well. And this team that we were low on receiver, we have filled it out pretty decently. Like when we start so thin at wide receiver, I kind of like to get the guys that are just going to be complete boom bust because the top three teams advance in this. So the difference between fourth place and 12th place is nothing. It doesn't matter at all. So getting guys who can take a step up, take that leap, and like go higher in drafts next year are guys that we want to aim for when we're starting so thin because we're smashed at pause. We're really good at quarterback. We're really good at running back. We're really good at tight end. So let's take some upside swings at receiver. We have our vet in Terry McLaurin, Ricky Pearsall. If he stays healthy, really good pick. Worthy stays healthy, good pick. Denzel Boston goes to the right situation, great pick. Jaden Higgins, second year, can break out. Jalen McMillan had a neck injury, and Baker liked targeting him when he came back. Keishon Boutte really evolved as a second-year player and trusted by Drake May. Gets deep balls, gets spike weeks. That's what we want. So there you go. You know what? I don't hate these teams that much. I don't hate them. They're different. They're weird, but that's kind of what we want in best ball. Now, Bryce Young doesn't necessarily have the best back stacks. So I was kind of debating between Bryce Young and Cam Ward. And they seem like similar picks going into next year, anyways. And Cam Ward just has some better back stacks, like Gunnar Helm, who, if Chico Conquo goes in free agency, could be quite nice. But we don't really need a third tight end. I'm not going to force that. I'm probably going to take an upside swing at running back. And we don't have a rookie receiver yet, so let's go with a rookie receiver. And looking at a running back, like Caleb Johnson, he's just going into his second year. And he could just have the Blake Corum. He could just have like a Blake Corum second year, where his first year did almost nothing. Looked like a complete bust, drafted in the 3rd round. The second year, he could just be like the 1B, you know? Now, I'm not a big fan of Charbonnet this year, coming off an ACL injury. However, on a team like this, where we're stacked at running back here, and we can afford to have him injured for like half the year, that feels pretty good. And AJ Barner, Travis Kelce, could go with one of these guys. We have Brock Bowers. I can also push tight end another round if there's someone I like more. I kind of want to just solidify my running backs. Go with like a Rashad White. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Rashad White kind of feels like a boring pick. The reason I didn't get a tight end there, I do like the value of AJ Barner. It sounds like Travis Kelce is going to be back, and he's just going to get points and some spike weeks. But the reason I went with Rashad White is now I'm very comfortable just stopping at these 5 running backs. And Rashad White, he's a free agent. He's going to be on some team next year. He's going to catch some balls. He's going to get in the end zone a little bit. So Vidal feels nice too. But I can see him being replaced pretty easily. Okay, on this team. Okay, now these are separating a little bit, so that feels better. That feels better. So if we want, no, this isn't the team where we're looking at 10 receivers. We're probably going to get 9 on this team. And I might just take another rookie receiver. I don't think we need like a solid vet because we have guys that are just, actually, you know what? We could use like a Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk, one of my favorite guys to get at the end of the draft. 2 tight ends we're totally fine with Laporta and Juwan Johnson. So it's whether we want, yeah, I'm probably looking at 1 running back and 1 receiver. Adam Randall. Haven't taken you. Could just do it. Could get Leggett as a stack with Bryce Young, who I don't really like. Kind of look like complete dust and very replaceable going into next year. But if I'm ever going to draft him on a team where we have Bryce Young and no one else, kind of feels fine. Roman Hemby. I don't know anything about these rookie running backs right now, so I'm kind of just drafting them based on their names. Yeah, let's take Leggett. Why not? We'll take Leggett, and yeah, let's just take a swing at running back. I haven't drafted this guy yet. Oh, you know who we could have taken? Did he already get taken? We could have taken Chris Rodriguez, but I'm not sure if he got. I think he got drafted already, and he doesn't really catch balls, anyways. I will review this team after these next picks, so I can focus on these ones first. Now, Terrence Ferguson is a player I would really like to get with Brock Bowers, because Brock Bowers is a stud, and I think affords us the flexibility to go with a Terrence Ferguson who we will be projecting as taking a big leap next year. Now, he gets drafted, so we can't do that. Alec Almanor feels like a really good value as well. Fuck these guys, man. Fuck you. You take my fucking guys. Sure, let's go Colby Parkinson. He's earned his role, and we need a receiver. We're drafting a receiver like the rest of the draft, really. Marvin Mims. Why not, right? We don't need a third quarterback. Let's just get a guy that can spike into our lineup. Sure. We're not thinking about it too much. We're going to be going 10 receivers on this team, which normally I wouldn't recommend. But with the build that we have, we'll just take some shots, get guys that can spike into our lineup. Might draft like one more rookie and one more vet. Yeah, team feels fine. Not my favorite teams, but then again, sometimes it's the teams that you least expect that go the furthest or end up winning. So this little board team, we finished with a 3-6-9-2. Jaden Daniels, Fernando Mendoza, Bryce Young, Omarion Hampton, Saquon Barkley, Woody Marks, Kamani Vidal, Caleb Johnson, Roman Hemby, AJ Brown, Jameson William, Marvin Harrison, Jacoby Myers, Xavier Worthy, Josh Downs, Trey Tucker, Zachariah Branch, and Xavier Leggett, with Sam Laporta and Juwan Johnson as our tight ends. Correlation's not the best. We have Mendoza stacked with Tucker and Bryce Young with Leggett. So late backstacks doesn't feel that good. Jaden Daniels unstacked. That doesn't really matter for someone like Jaden Daniels. And who knows? Maybe they draft Zachariah Branch in like the second round, and he's just a stud for them. Who knows? We're having fun this morning. We are having fun. That's why we took Gibbs pick one. We're having fun. Now, could take like a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, who is just a guy who I like to take a shot on if we want another quarterback, because we don't need a sixth running back on this team. Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Henderson, Charbonnet, Rashad White. We don't need a sixth running back. And we don't have any stacks with Jalen Hurts unless we get a rookie. Yeah. Denzel Boston's also rumored to go to Pittsburgh in a lot of mock drafts. So getting Aaron Rodgers, when we have the flexibility, we could just do that. And then we would finish off with receivers. Just get two of these guys. Can get like Christian Kirk, and I don't even know why he's going so late. Calvin Austin. Like, When Calvin Austin was healthy, he just got some long touchdowns. And the other receivers that they brought in last year were just old. Like Calvin Austin got some game-winning touchdowns, got some long touchdowns, missed some time with injury as well, but not the worst 20th round pick, really. And we can use another vet like Christian Kirk on this team as well late in the draft. Darnell Mooney seems pretty dust at this point. Christian Kirk, I liked him last year, and unfortunately, he just got injured. All right, SPK 0027. Who you going with? He takes Jalen Noel. So, yeah, I'll just do it. I'll take Aaron Rodgers. We have the flexibility. And if he is not on the team, then that's fine. Also, Rashad White, if he returns to Tampa Bay, then we have another stack with Baker as well. Jalen Hurts, you don't necessarily need to have stacked up. Even if the tush push gets banned, like he's going to get rushing touchdowns. It's not that big of a difference between the tush push and a quarterback sneak. And it really wasn't even that effective last year anyways. Yeah. Weird teams we drafted, but they're different constructions than how I drafted before. Not like the best stacks, not forcing any stacks, but who knows? We have no idea how this season is going to shape up. So this team is looking like it will end as Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, running backs Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Travion Henderson, Zach Charbonnet, Rashad White, Terry McLaurin, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy, Denzel Boston, Jaden Higgins, Jalen McMillan, Keyshawn Boutte, Marvin Mims, Christian Kirk, and probably Calvin Austin, with Brock Bowers and Colby Parkinson as our tight ends. So receivers are definitely the biggest question mark on this team. We have good quarterbacks. We have good running backs. We have good tight ends. Receivers are where we're going to win or lose it. And we have a lot of guys that can just spike into our lineup and evolve their role going into next year. Denzel Boston, he can end up on Philly. He can end up on Tampa Bay. He can end up on Pittsburgh. So I like that as well. Not the worst. Not the best, not the worst. Maybe I was a little too quick to judge earlier on. Isaiah Bond goes. Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue, man. I don't really like that pick. He did nothing as a rookie. Okay, a few more picks, and then we will end this here stream. Still got that Gibbs jersey, baby. We're just having fun this morning. Gotta have some fun before you work for 12 hours. You know what I mean? Malik Washington, I think, is a nice 20th round pick. Seems like he's going to have a role regardless next year. And at this point in the year, it's just guys we want to take. Guys that are going to have a role or guys who can just be really good. Okay, Calvin Austin it is. So Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Travion Henderson, Zach Charbonnet, Rashad White, Terry McLaurin, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy, Denzel Boston, Jaden Higgins, Jalen McMillan, Keishon Boutte, Marvin Mims, Christian Kirk, Calvin Austin, Brock Bowers, Colby Parkinson. I wouldn't normally recommend 10 receivers, but on this team, kind of makes sense. I had fun, That was fun. Thank you very much if you're watching this. I appreciate you. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Leave a subscribe. Subscribe. You know the thing. I'm tired, okay? I love you. Joy is beautiful. End stream.